So the peace candidates just started a war. Started the Iran again, which that's how it's pronounced. I don't know why they deliberately mispronounce it. And this right here is to all cover up from the fact that the United States government is in connection with Israel, and these are all a bunch of sex offenders and child predators. They're the worst scum on the face of the earth. Now, I'm not going to do like some people do, kind of like they did with Russia, and instantly just take the other side and bless their name. I don't know anything about Iran as far as their leadership goes. I've seen some good things, some things that appear to be good, but you could make all the same arguments about the United States government, and I know better than that. But they're not the bad guys in this. They're not. I don't know how much legitimacy there was to the protest and people wanting to take over. I know Israel did have some connection to that, and so did the United States. Just like Israel and the United States is connected to the cartels down in Mexico and Latin America. Yeah, they found that out. They're providing their weapons. So basically, if you look at the cartels, and you look at the stuff that Israel's done, you look at the stuff that Epstein and his little cult was up to, they're literally the most evil people who have ever walked the earth. Yes, worse than the Nazis. Worse than any serial killer you've ever read about. And there's people still backing these people up. I mean, it's stuff that, even if you're a horror writer, some of these horror movies that I don't understand why people wrote and made, you couldn't come up with this stuff. You couldn't dream it up, the level of evil. An ordinary person can't even dream this stuff up, let alone actually dream it up and do it. Now, if you ever look up anything about these cartels down in Mexico and Latin America, Central America and all that, South America, there's the stuff that they do to people, it's bad. It's really, really, really bad. And then, find out that they're connected to Israel. Now it starts to make some kind of sense. And of course, Israel is connected to Epstein. Robert Maxwell was with Mossad. They're all connected. That's all connected. I don't even know what to say anymore. I don't have a huge following. I don't know what I would do if I had people were actually counting on me for what I was going to say. Because I just about tapped out. How are people still supporting this? If you have any friends, relatives, whatever in the military, get them out ASAP. If you're in the military, I would encourage you to just come home. Without being any more specific than that. Come back home. We need some sort of revolution or something. This can't go on. I was just suspended from Twitter, or X as they're calling it, because I said something a bit naughty to Netanyahu while he was announcing the bombing of another country. Isn't that weird? Weird priorities. I mean, you got Trump's little 3 a.m. speech on there talking about you will face certain death. And then I say something kind of similar to that. Not even that it should be done, that I would like to see it for Netanyahu. And I'm instantly suspended for 7 days. It's part of the reason people hate censorship. I like to think that I believe some things shouldn't be said. But this is what happens if you if you're pro-censorship. It'll hit where you don't want it to hit. And from what I've seen so far, at this point, this is about it's less than 10 hours ago when this happened. Israel is going to pay a heavy price. And I hate to see any innocent person hurt. I don't want to see any innocent person hurt, especially a child. But beyond that, I can't say that I do not wish extreme suffering and pain for Israel, because this is the tumor on the face of the earth. It is. It is. It is a malignant tumor on this planet. And that doesn't mean every single person there, every single person that feels some kind of connection to it. I'm talking about the government, the police force, and the military. The IDF soldiers are worse than rabid dogs. That is and police also. Israeli police. They are serial killers with badges. And the worst ones. And they don't even look to be in the kind of physical shape to be in military, strangely enough. Bird-chested and pot-bellied. And also skinny at the same time. Couldn't take down a child on their own. So they go after people in packs. Go after the elderly and throw them down. And you got these dumb religious people here. I'm sick of this too. I'm really sick of this. I'm not anti-religion. I never will be. And that's even including religions that I don't follow. I guess you could call me a Christian. A lot of people wouldn't. But I'm so sick of the ignorance and these people who call themselves Christians. I'm so sick of it. I mean, you might imagine if you're not from here. Down south, you got these typically dumb people. It's like they've been kicked by a mule that are waving the Bible around. Couldn't even add fractions. I mean, they're dumb as a rock. And all they know is whatever they say is great. And whoever they say is great people. And since this place is called Israel, that name sounds familiar. That's here in the Bible. They think we need to support it. We do not. You know, one of Charles Manson's aliases was Jesus Christ. Should we have followed him? I would have never thought that you'd have people consider themselves to be Christians, because they've been such wet blankets and sticks in the mud about everything. And then they're supporting Trump. Explain, make it make some sort of sense. In what way is he a Christian? In what way is he a good person? Leave aside all kinds of hearsay. His little shithole comment about other countries. I didn't hear him say that, so I didn't take that seriously. I go by the things I see him do and hear him say. Documented things. And some of what this is, the reason why this is going on, is because Trump is a predator. He is a predo. See if that actually goes by the board there. A predo. Yeah. He's into kids. He's into women. Male and female. As though that matters when somebody's preying on children. I'm sure it matters to some people. And let him try to sue me for that. He can't. He can't sue people for that. He can't quieten people up about that because it's a fact. He's been a sex offender for decades. He's a serial adulterer. He's a mass murderer. He's a thief. He's a liar. And the only way people can respond to that is say, what about Biden? Can we focus? Can we focus on one person at a time? Because I focused on Biden back when Biden was relevant. You know what those people said? What about Trump? I'm not having any of that. You're going to focus. You're going to focus. Focus on the actual threat. And he's the threat. And that little colony over there is a threat. And you're worried about the Iranians. What have they done? How many Americans have they killed? And the fact that some of you people are still taking the sides against the Palestinians. How far up your rear end is your head stuffed? All I can imagine is that there's people sitting around and only watching Fox News and Newsmax and ONN, and you got these other people that's only watching MSNBC and CNN, and if it's not mentioned on there, then they don't know anything about it. Everything else is just made up. No, what they're telling you is made up. They take it and smooth it and manufacture it for a certain demographic and a certain audience. And you're that. And you swallow it up instead of believing the truth, instead of thinking for yourself. It's sort of connected to these people who I think they have to go to the church to have somebody, some lazy good-for-nothing standing behind an altar telling you what the Bible means because you can't figure it out on your own. You got to have some middleman between you and God. You know, some of the stuff that sets me off really quick. It's laziness, it's willful ignorance, and it's inconsideration. Those are three things that'll set me off super fast. And I'm so sick of this willful ignorance. You're an adult. Think for yourself. Stop letting these people tell you what to think. And I'm sorry to break it to you. You know, you retaliated so well when people were saying Black Lives Matter that you need to say all lives matter. Apparently you didn't believe that. I mean, does it? You don't care about the Palestinian lives. You don't care about any of the Arab lives. You don't care about Iran. You don't care about China. Some of you alternately don't care about Russia or Ukraine. Means nothing to you. All you meant by that was to nullify the Black Lives Matter thing. And this proves it. This proves it. Because you're not following through on that. And you're not a real Christian or a Jew either because you're not paying attention to the words of Jesus or the Ten Commandments. There's some gray area about thou shalt not kill that you don't understand? Let he who was out sin cast the first stone. You remember that part? Love one another. Love your neighbor. Israel just blew up a school, killed like 50 girls, little girls. And you think that's God's people? It's time for you to wake up, and I don't care what it sounds like. The people in charge of us are satanic. They're literally satanic. This ain't some kind of movie. This isn't the rantings of some paranoid schizophrenic. This is the real thing. The thing you've pretended to always believe in, claiming to be religious. These people are for real satanic, and that includes Trump and Netanyahu. They follow Baal. They follow Moloch. Baphomet. The real deal. And if you're an atheist and you don't believe in that stuff, that's kind of irrelevant because they do believe in it. And that's a problem. You think because you don't believe in any of this stuff that the people who do believe in demons and evil are not a threat to you? Believe in sacrificing people and eating people? I'm hoping at some point people can stop this. People can unite. The people of the United States can unite and realize it is us versus them. Your neighbor who voted for the other stupid party, the other demonic party, is not your enemy. You're not enemies because of who you voted for. Your enemies are who you did vote for. You didn't do it because you were thrilled with them in most cases. You did it because you were so terrified of the other ones. That's what a lot of them will cop out and saying, but that is what a lot of them actually believe. That's why I can't stand to see somebody be too heavy-handed about, oh, look what happened because this person you voted for. Well, they voted for them because of how horrible the other person was. I'm begging you to pull your head out of your rear end. Stop voting for these people. Got Blackburn right here in Tennessee. She's just all for this war. Of course she is. Evil swamp witch from Mississippi. Been rich her entire life. Lives in the richest part of Tennessee. She does not give a damn about you or anybody in this state or this country. Neither does Tim Burchett or Andy Ogles or any of these other scumbags that people have voted for. Show me evidence that they do. Every one of them funded by Israel, a foreign entity. What do you think that money's for? Beautifying Tennessee? No. It's to do their bidding. Tennessee's got nothing to do with that country. Nothing. Have you seen our roads and bridges? I can show you a few pretty close to here. Have you seen the medical debt? People can't afford to buy houses. People living from check to check. And Israel's getting billions. And these treasonous freaks are all for this. What is wrong with you? What have you let them turn you into? I hope you just have a minute of realization of what you have turned into. If you're a churchgoer and you've been supporting any of this, it should burn you to walk into a church. Unless that church is just as corrupted as you are. I need you to wake up. Actually value people's lives. I need you to value human beings' lives. Even if they don't look like you. I know that's a stretch. You think you believe all lives matter? Show it. Prove it. You believe in the words of Jesus? Prove it, because I'm not seeing any of it from you. None. How do you show you love your neighbor? Oh, no man, anything but to love one another. That's another line out of the New Testament. Do you live that? Does Trump live that? Where do those missiles and everything fit in with God's plan for us, huh? What would Jesus Christ's favorite weapon of war be? I'm no expert. I would say none. Something's got to change. Now, Iran is threatening to flatten Israel. Tel Aviv, I think they said specifically. You'll find me not crying a lot if that does happen. It's going to be like seeing a surgeon, pull out a malignant tumor. Oh no, the poor tumor. And again, I don't want to see any innocent people get hurt, especially children. I'm consistent on that. Nice, somebody's consistent on that. You need to find out who you are and what you believe. You need to actually do some introspection, self-examination. This has got to stop. Show that you're a whole person, a real person, an adult who can think for themselves, who has morals and ethics. Demonstrate that with what you support and who you support. It doesn't matter how scary the other side is. If you vote for what you think is the lesser evil, it's still evil. You are supporting evil. How do you think that's a good thing to do? And I'm no pacifist, believe me. But this war has got to stop. If you vote for anybody who has nice things to say about Israel, you are betraying this country, you're betraying yourself, you're betraying your religion. You're betraying every moral any decent human being would ever have. So I'll say again, love your neighbor. And I'll say my first version of this. Love your neighbor, hate your government.